Let's get into
Fascinating.
the division series. Let's start with Detroit and Cleveland. The series, by the way, every series is tied up at 1. We are going to get no sweeps, which I
Nope.
love.
Me too.
Maximize our baseball games.
Yep.
So Detroit tied things up today, Monday in game
Bro.
2.
Dude. This game.
We'll get there.
This
We'll get there. Let's
okay.
start
All
with game
right.
1. Let's start with game 1. We got to go in order. Right.
All right. That game too, though.
Okay.
Come on.
So Cleveland won game 1 7-0. They came out quick and hung 5 in the first inning, and then they added 2 in the 6th. Brig, you texted me what the vibe was like in this game because I didn't get a chance to watch. I had family in town this weekend, so I didn't get to watch as much as I wanted to. But what did you think the vibe was like in that game?
So I said this could be like a May 30th game, right? I was like, there's no energy. Nobody cares. There's no intensity. It's a day game, right? This was like a Sunday afternoon, May 30th, inconsequential largely, kind of a game. And I understand it's because there was no reason to be urgent. I mean, it was a 7-0
at what point?
drubbing.
I was say, at what point did you text me that though? Like, was it like the third inning
remember.
and it was 5-0?
Yeah, something like that. It was early.
Yeah.
Because it was 5. They went up 5-0 in the first.
You're right.
So,
yeah, it's quick.
It's like it didn't matter. The whole game wasn't exciting. There was just nothing fun about it. And it was just a picnic atmosphere all of a sudden. So it felt like a May 30th game, like just a day game.
That would be really hard to be there as a fan. Like, yeah, I'm pumped. Postseason baseball, yeah, I'll fire it up. You get there and you empty the tank in the first inning.
Yep. And you're like,
okay. All right.
Just go shut them down now. I mean, that's all I gotta do. Just
make sure they don't rally.
Yeah.
Just here. And it's almost since it is the postseason, I wonder if it was more like just with every out. Somebody gets on base, like, okay, double play. Here we go. Double play. Okay.
I agree. That
I wonder if there's more of that in the stance than.
Well, it was that way today.
It certainly was. The Tigers won this one 3-0, but you wouldn't have known that that's how the game was going to end going through the rest of the time. Tarek Skubal, by the way, in a pitching duel was dealing again, as he does. The Tiger King was at it. 7 innings pitched. Scooby. Yes.
Scooby.
We're calling him Scooby. 7 innings pitched, no runs allowed, obviously. 3 hits was all 8 strikeouts, and he didn't give any free passes.
Not a single one.
Dude is dealing, and he is ready to move on.
Nobody scored until the top of the 9th inning.
That's right. Kerry Carpenter took Emmanuel Class A deep with a 3-run bomb in the 9th, and that was the end of it. So,
yep.
First, I was just going to say a second ago, it's too bad for the Tigers that Skubal can't pitch every game, because if he did, they'd probably win the World Series. I'm confident. Because
it's
he would
very possible
mow through the entire thing. But this is, I want to ask you about this, Brig. What do you think about Class A coming in for a 4-out save, and then he gave up that homer, and then Matt Vierling had a single after that, and then they pulled him?
Well, that's what I like about it. It was a small ball, right? You got a little bit of momentum going. You don't leave runners on base. That's a tease. You got everything that you need going for you, and that's what you want, right? Just move the needle, push guys around the base paths. That's it.
What about Class A though? What about Class A? Do you like the attempt at the 4-out save?
I do. I think it was the right move in that situation. And had it not been for that freaking random home run, everything would have been fine.
Random with Kerry Carpenter though. So it was a pinch hit home run. No, it wasn't. Sorry, I apologize. He pinch hit for him earlier in the game, for Malloy earlier in the game.
Right.
So
he was earlier.
That was his second at bat of the game. But Kerry Carpenter this year, though, he did hit. Where I have it right here. He hit 18 homers this year, 587 slug. So maybe it is kind of random.
Didn't feel timely.
Average though.
I mean, it was timely. It was timely, but it didn't feel like. Like when it happened, I went, "Oh wow," and not, "Oh yeah, I saw that coming," or "Yeah, of course."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like if I don't know. He's a contact guy. He's not a pop guy.
Right. Yeah. I will say though that he has hit some timely home runs this year, like against
Yeah.
the Tigers swept the Mariners earlier this season, and he was part of the reason of that.
Yeah.
It was him and Meadows were a big part of the reason for that. And then
Listen,
Baez random walk-off home run. But like
the one time Baez played a baseball game
the one
here.
time in the last like 3 years that's happened.
Yeah.
But so this
Yeah.
is my issue with it. Okay. So like I am fine typically with the 4-out. I shouldn't say I don't love the 4-out save. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm not a
you
big
don't.
fan
I know.
of the 4-out
Yeah.
save. Right. So my thing is like I cannot say that I'm familiar with Cleveland's bullpen, who was rested, who was available, all that stuff. But I don't feel like you bring in Class A to face who was the first guy he faced. I've got it right here. He
Yeah.
faced Perez, right?
Yeah.
So if he's coming in to face Wenceal Perez, I don't even know who that guy is.
Exactly.
Just because I don't follow the Tigers a whole lot. He's in the middle of the order.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
So he comes in, gets him out, and then in the 8th inning, he gets Spencer Torkelson, good.
Yeah.
Parker Meadows, good.
Sweet.
But then you've got the bottom of the order, like
Yeah.
Jake Rogers and Trey Sweeney are the next guys you've got to get out. Like
Right.
I don't love having Class A come in to face those guys for a 4-out save. Bring him in the 9th to get those guys out. Right? Like bring in somebody else to clean up the mess in the 8th. Because
If
you
you
want to
can,
have because if
you've got somebody else.
My big thing though is that like I want Class A facing Carpenter, Bierling, and Ibanez, or sorry, McKinstry is who was going to
Yeah.
be hitting, is who would have been hitting in the 9th.
McKinstry.
That's who
Yeah.
I want Class A facing. I don't
Right.
want wasting pitches against the bottom of the order.
But if you know he's lights out, and he's one of the best pitchers in the league right now, and as far as closers,
I know.
so
I know.
that's why I don't hate it, because he comes in and you're like, check the box, check the box, check the box. Let's get out of here, right? Or let's push it.
And that's
into
true. And you know, and maybe that was the thing, is that you've got Torkelson and Meadows coming up. Those guys are good hitters, and you're going to try to get those guys out in the 9th anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe
what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I don't think it was the
it
wrong
was.
choice.
It's easy for me to say now that I don't love the move and I don't love the attempt at the 4-out save, when in reality, like it probably was the best way to go. And let's be honest, I'm going for the Tigers in this series anyway, so who cares?
Right. No, I think it was the right thing to do. I don't see why they would have done it any differently, honestly. Like I can't see a reason why that they would have done something different. I think you go with your guy, right? You just need it done. You go with the guy who's going to get it done. That's it.
Yeah.
And he didn't. It was a freak accident. Like freak accident. So I don't know. I love it. I think it was the right choice. I think it just didn't go well. That's it.
I think you're right. And I think that you're right. I think 9 times out of 10 it would have ended well for them, but today it just didn't.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So this series will continue in Detroit. Wednesday, they will play at 3:08 p.m. Eastern time, and Thursday they'll play at 6:08 p.m. Eastern time. Got to get that 8 minutes for pregame.
Yeah, those are so weird to me.
They cut into that's what it is. They cut into the game. They cut into coverage at 3 exactly. So then they get 8 minutes. And it's so weird that baseball does that. But anyway.